My name is Wanjiku. I'm a counseling psychologist. The topic I would like to discuss this time is in regard to the importance of the family foundation. It's a known fact that family play a very significant role in the development of an individual. When there are some weaknesses, it does not only affect that person as an individual, but it can affect that person from generations to generations, based on the fact that we pass on whatever has been passed to us during that foundation. Today, I hear so many things that are focused on during the wedding ceremonies. I have attended several weddings within my surrounding, but the message is very similar, where the man is told of his role in the family, but the emphasis is a woman role in the family from a very traditional perspective, where you hear the person who is speaking will say to the woman, "You now have acquired a head," and you have to be reminded that the head has never bypassed the neck. Sorry, the neck has never bypassed the head. Therefore, you have now been installed the head that will be guiding you, that will be telling you what to do. And a woman is reminded that you have to be obedient, you have to be loving, you have to be caring. You also have to serve this man with a lot of dedication to ensure that you know what he prefers to eat, when to eat, how to serve him food, and also how to ensure that when he is out there, he looks presentable, because he is supposed to be smartly dressed, clothes are supposed to be clean and well ironed. You're also reminded that there are some areas that you should never delegate to house helpers. For example, cooking for him and serving the food. Those messages are very, very good, and they are important to a sorority family. There are times I even hear women reminded that there are some, particularly from my culture, that there are some cultures where the women particularly focus on the man's stomach, with the message that men's entry point to the women's life is through how she takes care of his stomach. And those are very, very important values that are supposed to be in the family. On the other hand, it's very, very important to understand the fact that there are things that are being dictated by the changes that are taking place in the society. For example, traditionally a woman was supposed to be brought up from a very early stage to be socialized, to become a good mother, a good housekeeper, and also to care for whatever the husband has been able to acquire. For example, the women would have been given a piece of land and animals to take care of when the men went out to acquire more. The men were taught from a very early childhood that their job is to cater for the family, to instill the strength and protection, confidence that for security reasons, and also to ensure that the children grow up with a sense of identity. And therefore the man, as a head of the family of those days, knew exactly what was expected of him. The socialization process from a little girl or from a little boy was all about building a strong family. And those were very, very important factors in the family life. And they are still very, very important today. Unfortunately, people have migrated, have moved from their community, from the social surrounding that were supportive to them. And we find many young men and women today integrated in the city, where they have acquired new cultural values, borrowed from many cultural interaction from schools or from workplace. In fact, we are even seeing a lot of intermarriages between two people from different culture. And therefore, each one is trying to bring in their strength or whatever that they knew from their culture. It is therefore very, very important today that any person who is addressing the issue of a family to understand the changes that are taking place. For example, it was never expected that women would work away from home, or they will even be working at odd hours. But we are seeing many women and men who are working in medical field. Some of them will work overnight. Some of them will see being transferred to places. Some of them are working away from home or either have gone for further training. And therefore, the sort of family that we would have expected has been interrupted or is continuous to be interrupted. So my take on this is that if two people get married and they decide they are going to have children, it's very important for them to think about what it is that they want to build their family on. What kind of foundation, what kind of values are they intending to instill in these children's life? For example, every family has what it believes in, and whatever they believe in is what they want to bring on board, is what they want to see their child becoming. Whether if they value spiritual knowledge, where are the children going to acquire those knowledge? If they value the family, how do they adapt to that solidarity in the family? What is the role of the man? What is he modeling to a young man? What does a woman model to a young boy? How do they share the responsibilities? I was some time back looking at the role that men and women are facing today, and I realized that there's a lot of conflict because there's an expectation of what a woman should do, and we put it on a list. And in that list, we looked at what is expected of a man and what is expected of the woman. And both group discussed what is being done today, what's happening today. And by the end of the day, there was a realization that the women are overwhelmed by the responsibilities. Most of them have become even the breadwinners. Some of them have even become the ones who even pay the rent, where the men who are supposed to be the head of the homes, the women are the ones who are even acquiring such properties. And it's okay if there's an understanding, because sometimes the woman can have an opportunity, maybe she's working in the bank, she has an opportunity to get a facility for the loan. But on the other hand, that does not mean that the man should shoulder off the responsibility and the duties of the family. Because by the end of the day, what normally happens is that there's so much stress that both families are experiencing, both men and women are experiencing, not realizing that it is a conflict of responsibilities, or maybe sometimes abandonment of whatever a person is supposed to be accounted to be doing. And also there's a question of what are we teaching the children? Where do the children acquire their values of today? Is it from the negligence of the responsibility, or how do they acquire that? So it's very, very important for us to think through those things as we advise the families today, because we are also building the future of our children.